forgetting to set that up. That's absolutely what I forget. What I get for trying to do that. Because I saw it starting to struggle with the stream, and that's why I tried to do it. And then, of course, fucking Twitch Studio decides it's going to throw a goddamn fit at me. So, okay, so we got 2 videos for today. I'll have to figure out if I can stitch those together for the sake of the VOD. But hopefully I'm back live now. Jesus Christ, that was annoying. Really not a fan of how that works out. And I have to be better about remembering to turn off my VPN, because VPN throws a fit after a while if I stream for too long and it starts dropping frames like nobody's business, and I am not a fan of when it tries to do that. So, any rate, here we are. Where was I? Where the fuck was I? Yes, I was adding torches. I was going to add torches and lighting to this. Because it's a lived-in space, it is a space where we know the brainwashed individuals are indeed living. Let's see here. Light tool, there we go. And so they're not going to let it all just be, you know, a useless, unlit area here. So I'm going to put torches. We can either... Okay, I got to think about, practically speaking, where the torches would be for all of this here. I mean, we could have them be, like, along the stairwell, which would make sense, right? It's an open stairwell. And it would kind of make sense for there, like if there's a pillar going up the center, for the torches to be along the pillar of the stairwell. And so I could just do that, and that would provide good light for everything. Or I could have them, all of them be in a corner. And that would be a decent way to go about it as well. Because that would leave some areas dark, and so that might make it a bit more intriguing. I think I'm going to do it that way, honestly. I like that way. I like the sort of shadows that doing it that way would add. And we'll just go ahead and always have them on the opposite side of the window, which would make sense. Because if you're going to add a lamp, you put it on the opposite end of the window, so that way, you know, you can have a couple different sources of light when you need them. Like if it's a gloomy, sad day. Oops, that's not supposed to go there. Hold on. Where's my grabbing tool? I want to delete that one. I went in the wrong order. Go back to our light tool. There we go. So now this one goes right here. There, right there. Right there. Right there. And this goes down there, so then we can put that right there. Put that one right there. Perfect. Okay, so there we got our lights in place. Alright, so we got lighting in there in case it's necessary. Oh, come on, there we go. So now, just go ahead and add, oops, where's our object tool here? Just add some objects that'll make it seem appropriate. Administration? Huh, interesting. That'll actually come in handy, especially towards the top where the guy's like maps and stuff for all of his plans, his sinister evil plans, will be good. But in this bottom one, I'm just going to put some barrels and crates. Honestly, I think that's really all we need. Throw like a barrel right there. One right there. One right there, just like that. And then let's add some crates. Crate. Add some crates of food. Actually, that would make a lot of sense for those to be around in there. Do a crate of food like that. Crate like that. And maybe a larger crate like right over there, something like that. Seems appropriate. Don't need to worry about too much maneuverability there. There's not actually, unless they bring the fight down, there's not actually going to be a whole lot of fighting and whatnot happening in there, so we don't need to worry too much about maneuverability, I don't think. Okay, there's that. So now, room number 2. So I just always find it easiest to go in the notes order rather than necessarily in the room order. Just because then I can keep working down the list for what I'm writing. Okay, so this is a combat room. It's an easy combat. And so for this, I always like to, I go to Kobold Fight Club. This is always my go-to, my go-to tool, my go-tool, if you will. And so this is 5 players, level 3 that we want to balance this one to. And then I always just do random easy. Alright, so 8 1/8, you know, CR 1/8 monsters will be a good challenge here. So I will then take that and let's see here. Yeah. Okay, we did figure this stuff out. I just hadn't put it in this area yet, which I will get to that. So the X-Varts are what we were going to use for this. So 8 X-Varts. So we'll go... Oops, that's right. I want to make sure I don't delete the bullet point itself, because otherwise it will do it and just annoys me to have to go back up and redo it. Oh, God, I got to stop fussing with my nose. My nose is super sore today. I may have gotten tagged in the nose last night at kickboxing, and I may have had a bit of a gusher from it, and my nose may be a little bruised and a little sore this morning because of it. Not saying it definitely happened, I'm just saying it didn't not happen. But yeah, I keep fussing with it, and then it hurts every time I do that. It's like, stop doing that. Anyway, enemies. We have 8 X-Varts, and those are, we can get our information that we need from them from up here. And we'll do it. Oh, that's right, they were going to be flavored as just like sunken versions of all kinds of different races. Boom. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Failed experiments. Boom. There we go. Alrighty, that's good. That's good. I like it that way. Alright, so we can do that. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna... Hold on. I'm just gonna fill this stuff out. It bothers me that I accidentally skipped this stuff, and it shouldn't. A healthy brain would not be bothered by it, but it bothers me, so I'm gonna do it now, and just let my own particular brand of eccentricity just sort of shine bright, right? Loud and proud, because that's the thing. Like it's like absolutely nothing. It's just like cutting and pasting things. Why are we behaving weirdly? Why are we not behaving properly? There we go. Oh, the cursor doesn't want to go where I click to put it, and everything's just a nightmare, and oh my god. What is that? What's the one? God, it's mean, but the lady in the scooter, Mobility Mary, that's the one. Oh my god. I know it's mean to make fun of her, but it's also kind of funny. Alright, and then the boss. Who's going to be the boss again? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How could I forget? How could I forget about the swashbuckler? How could I forget about her? Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Undo that shit. Undo that shit. I wanted to copy that. How could I forget about my self-created... God, I was really into the idea. Self-created waifu there. Okay, there we go. Swashbuckler named Valeluk. Gosh, I like that. I like that name. I like the character idea. I'm into it. I'm into it. Stop messing with your nose, Scott. God damn it. It's such an issue. I'm like a dog. I need a stupid, like one of them collars to stop screwing with my nose. It's like it itches, but that's because it's scabbing over. I gotta leave it alone. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be constantly oozing small amounts of nasal blood, which is just such a gross thing to both hear about and experience. So I apologize for talking about it. All right. Let's see here. And then the wandering monsters here. So 50% chance. So this one. So what I always do for long rest potential events, like I kind of talk about, if the players are in a safe room that's been barricaded, then they can avoid being approached by wandering monsters. But that doesn't mean there won't be other things that happen in the dungeon. So what I always do is have any one of them. They can either roll a d10 or a d20. It really doesn't matter, one or the other. They could roll a percentile dice as well if they wanted to. Although actually what I should do is, rather than doing 50%, I should change this to like 1 through 5. 1 through 5. Half of enemies will regenerate. So like there's a 50% chance that half of the enemies they've killed will regenerate if they take a rest. Which in a tower like this is a little game mechanic-y, right? A little meta game mechanic there. But I've never found that to be too much of a problem in my games, because first and foremost, we're playing a game. And secondly, a lot of times I noticed for the most part that players will forgive something that's obviously a game mechanic if it makes it more fun to play. And I find most of my players appreciate a dungeon that is kind of living and isn't just sort of a check mark, go through room by room, clear out the room, and off we go. Players tend to appreciate that there are like actual consequences to their actions, and so they have to actually think and debate, okay, do we want to risk stuff happening with a long rest now, or would we prefer to know what the state of the dungeon is right now and push on a little bit further, even though we're feeling like we could stand to get some of our spell slots back. Like having to make those decisions, I've noticed players usually actually appreciate that, because it adds to that sense of pride once they finally succeed at whatever they're trying to do. The fact that they've made good decisions that have resulted in the result that they wanted, the ending, the conclusion, the success that they wanted. So at any rate, there's a 50% chance that half of the enemies will regenerate. I say 1 through 5 because of the d10, but if they wanted to roll a d20, you could like make it 1 through 10, obviously. Really doesn't matter. And then there's a 20% chance that they will be approached by wandering monsters if they're in the safe room. Then that automatically translates then to it just being a safe night. Like they'll hear something scratching at the door or pushing at the barricade or whatever they did to make the room safe. They can do that, because then there's a 20% chance of an uneventful night. So really, as long as they're being smart about it, there's a 40% chance that nothing will happen. And then I also always add in just a 10% chance. There's the chance that there will be a divine intervention. And I do that for just about any type of long rest situation, whether it's in a dungeon, whether it's in the sort of the open world or whatever. I always like to add that because one of the ways that I make, because obviously I'm building a world that's sort of a generic world that exists outside of my players. And so if I'm not careful, that can a lot of times result in a game that feels very impersonal to players, right? It's a world that doesn't really care about them. It's not built to cater to them. And so it can be easy for a player to feel inconsequential. And so one of the ways that I drive things is by having all of my players select a deity of sorts, or if they don't want one, they can just say like, oh, just give me one, and I'll assign one based on how they're playing their character as things progress. But either way, each player sort of has a deity, and I'll have the chance for a divine intervention, where the deity comes and speaks to them and encourages them to do this, that, or the other thing. And usually when that happens, what I'll do is I'll think about, specifically for that session, you know, immediately leading up to the long rest that they had to take. What were the players doing? What was that player's character up to? Ouch. And I will have the deity sort of speak to them about that. For example, one of the players that in the game, one of the games that I'm DMing, is a very devout cleric, very determined to only help, never harm, always trying to find the good in characters. You know, your standard run-of-the-mill cleric. The interesting, what makes that character sort of an interesting role-playing thing, and I think it's really cool that the player is taking this approach, is because this is with a group that they want her to be swashbuckling pirates. So everyone else in the group is like women, children, fuck them, let's kill them and take their whatever in their pockets. You know, it's like, I don't care that it's an invalid grandfather who has got Alzheimer's and needs help. I will break his kneecaps so he can't chase me after I steal his coin purse. You know, they're very like that. And so I always have, whenever that character or that player rolls to have a divine intervention, I always have the deity come down and say, like, hey, you guys are getting pretty brutal. Where's your head at? Are you still devoted to me and my cause? And so he sort of has to have the character sort of almost draw a line in the sand, like, am I part of this group to try and mitigate them? Am I kind of joining them? And if so, does that mean I have to get rid of my deity? Or is it possible for me to keep my deity even if my way of life is changing? And it kind of makes for interesting character arcs, and you can also use the deity to sort of drive them towards whatever they're sort of organically doing, right? So if they're sort of organically, like, you know, where they're at right now, they're going to an island that I've worked on in the past, and they went there explicitly to chase after a guy who had wronged one of the party members. But they're kind of stepping into the middle of this pre-existing kind of nightmare of a world. Nightmare of an island. Very Lord of the Flies-esque. You know, things are just kind of going haywire. People are chasing each other and killing each other and all that kind of stuff. And they just kind of stepped into this hornet's nest of a situation. And so, you know, I can use the deities to make them care about the situation that they're really not actually involved in. Right? They don't have a stake in this, you know, the most dangerous game situation where there's a guy hunting other people that he's enslaved on this island. You know, they really, as a baseline, wouldn't care. But if they have deities, those deities might be able to prod them in some way, shape, or form to say, like, hey, there's stuff happening on this island, are you just going to ignore that? And to, you know, and so it's a good way to sort of draw characters in. And so that's why I add that and why I stick to it. Also because I have visions of grandeur, and I like to create any situation I can in which I get to be a god. So, you know, there's some personal choice to it. I am egotistical enough to recognize when I'm being egotistical. Alright, so yeah, so that's where those are, and now that's filled out, and I can feel the ants under my skin calming down, and my own brain accepting that things can now progress in numeric order as required. So we've got the enemies for this combat. Let's see. And one thing that I realized I have not been doing, but I actually want to do, is I want to just be adding in just a description of the room, right, for when players enter. So that way I can sort of paint a picture for them and just have a narration, even if it's an obvious, like I'm obviously reading it. I've been slacking off on doing it for the sake of keeping the stream going, but I mean, you know, people tune in here to see what I'm up to and what my methods are and what we can create, so I might as well actually go through the trouble of creating it, because I prefer to have a very clearly described, defined room, so that way I can paint a picture for my players. I don't like them to just all be imagining a different room and trying to figure out what's going on. I like to paint them a picture, right? And it's like having a map helps, but that doesn't give you that sort of 3D image. So I always like to think about, you know, my five senses. Five senses. I mean, that theory has been disproved a lot of time, but you understand, you know, see, smell, feel, taste. I mean, they could lick the walls if they wanted to, right? Maybe I should add a description about that. These walls taste like stone because they're made of stone. Why are you licking it? But you know what I mean. Just trying to add those little details. So I wanna do that for this one. So let me try and get into the tower here. From the outside tower, because we're talking about the, you know, in this one here, this is our guarded entrance. This is that first floor. So let's see here. So on the outside, the tower is certainly an imposing structure, standing 10 stories tall. It can be seen from miles away. Let's see here. What else is there to describe about this from the outside? We'll say, upon approaching, you see that, though very old, this tower has been well maintained. It's been well maintained. The pathway to the main door is well trodden, suggesting that it remains in use today. And that's kind of an important thing to that's an important thing to signify to my players, because my world is sort of a post-calamity type of world where, other than in the guarded cities, most of the world has been abandoned, and so most things are not upkept or frequently used. So it's a significant descriptor in my games for there to be this, like, hey, this thing is like really well kept and it's out in the wilds. Like, this is weird, and your player and your characters know it, even if the players aren't remembering that at the time. So I want to do that. And what I'm going to do to organize it, I'm just going to put that in quotes, and then that's going to be the mechanics thing for it. And then what I'm going to do, just because I want to have all the descriptions kind of in one thing, so that way I don't lose the mechanical or functional details in the process there. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I don't want the mechanics of it all to get lost in the descriptions here, but I do need to add a description for inside. Inside the... Actually, you know what I want to do also? The door is a strong wooden door with a sturdy iron padlock holding it shut. There we go. Describe the padlocks, that way players can have their cue, like, hey, an obvious solution this time around is probably lockpick. Excuse me. Around the north side there is a window, but it there is a, I'm gonna say, portal style window that cannot be entered due to the iron crossbars. I don't know, attached to it, I guess. Hey, Kickstand, how's it going? trying to make the strongest character with only official stuff. Power gamer here. I guess it depends on, I mean, going for it, I guess it depends on what you define as, like, strongest, like, in terms of just, like, pure on strength, or do you mean strongest as in, like, most effective in battle, or strongest as in strongest role-play based character? There's a lot of ways that you could define the strongest character depending on what you're after. I kind of get the sense for that, Kickstand, and you know what? If that's your jam, you go for it. You do what you do. Just always be careful doing that kind of stuff, because that's a real good way to if you're too determined to do it, that can definitely be a way to to get on the nerves of some DMs, depending on what their stance on that type of stuff is. Let's see here. Inside the main entrance is a let's see here. Inside the main entrance is a small stone room. A few crates and barrels line the walls, and at the center is a spiral staircase that leads straight straight up. Boom. There we go. Yeah, that's good. That's good that you don't do it in games. That's definitely a better way to, especially if you're talking about a character that will take every spell and strength item, because that's a real good way to make a klepto that'll bother the the players. Oh man. Yeah, I've played with people that were very sticky fingered. Their characters were very sticky fingered, and those characters tend to struggle with all the rest of the characters as far as cohesiveness goes. So it's good that you mitigate that appropriately. Let's see here. A few crates and barrels. I don't think this room needs much more description than that. Truth be told, this is just an entrance, and the main guarded entrance is just the lock on the door. So okay, so we'll do that. Now back to room number 2 here. So this is the easy combat. Got our enemies, which is all the X-Varts here. Let's say in this room. Let's say, actually, no, we're gonna just go ahead and make that a quotation here, so we can, like I say, add sort of a description here. As you reach, we reach the second floor. You quickly find. Let's see here. As you reach the second floor, you quickly find a collection of X-Varts. Well, it's not X-Varts. They're flavored to be goofy things here. Let's see here. Strongest homebrew. That's just cheating, Kickstand. I mean, I could homebrew anything that's just got infinite power. You can just homebrew an unlimited wish spell item, and boom, there you go. That's all you need right there. Wild magic or trap room. Wild magic is certainly a very fun thing to do, and I have used that. I haven't decided what the trap room in this one is going to be. Yeah, there will be one, but I haven't decided exactly what that's going to be. But wild magic, I love wild magic tables. I will go out of my way to use wild magic tables as much as you want. I love the chaos it brings to games, and it cracks me up. One of my favorite characters one time that I played, so okay, story time. When I was a player, I had a character that was a wizard, but didn't know he was a wizard, and would only start using spells if if he received any damage in combat. He would enter, like, the magic would take over, kind of like the magic would go on autopilot, and it was wild magic. It was almost as if there was like a different entity inside of him. And he would just kind of, and what I would do is I would tell the DM, I was like, here's what I want you to do. When he enters magic mode, I want you to just have me roll on the wild magic table, and he will just target the magic at whatever enemy is the most dangerous one at the moment. And that was how the character played, and it was hilarious. There was so much chaos in every battle, and everyone else both hated and loved the character, because sometimes he would just be so clutch and take care of everything, and other times it would just be the most useless character. It was so much fun. I love that character. Oh shit, Kickstand, what do you got for me? Okay.
Our struggle as artists isn't about appeasing the crowd. Rather,
Kickstand, it sounds like you've got power gaming down to a science, and you know what? If that's your jam, you go for it. You go for it.
create a reflection.
Absolutely go for it. Everyone's got their jam. Let's see here. So okay, back to writing here. As you reach the second floor, quickly find a collection of mini versions of. Actually, no. We're just gonna say a collection of small humanoids of many different races. They are free roaming in the room, though a closer inspection finds let's see here. A closer inspection finds that they are all chained together at the ankles, leaving them trapped on this floor. That's a lot of P's. Extra P. I mean, it's okay to take an extra P from time to time, but too much extra P is a problem. You should see your doctor about that. Especially if you're a dude. Let's see here. Reach the second floor, find a collection, leaving them trapped on this floor. They are brainwashed and crazed, and attack attack ass. They love attacking ass. They attack as soon as they see you coming up the stairs. Boom, and that's the X parts. Let's see here. OP races. Oh yeah, the elephants are a good one. If we're talking about OP races, I always feel like the Aarakocra are pretty overpowered just because they have flight. Flight makes it very easy, especially early game, for them to avoid most damage. So Aarakocra are very overpowered. Although as a DM, I'm not bothered too much by it because I'll just give things ranged attacks and do it that way. But yeah, when it comes to early skills, the fact that they have pretty unlimited flight right away definitely puts them up there in the discussion of overpowered. From a roleplay standpoint, I always feel like the changelings can be pretty overpowered too. Like I say, depending on what your sort of mission is for your overpowered character. I always find that they're very roleplay overpowered in terms of like doing deceptions and stuff like that. But yeah, there's that. Oh, if you're talking late game, that's a harder one just because I feel like actually late game a lot of things become more balanced just because it's really less of nothing is overpowered and more so when you get late game, everything is overpowered when you get to level 20 just because there's so many ways that you can stack gained feats and traits and all that kind of stuff. Like you can really stack stuff so that way, like as long as you like devote it all into one specific like circle, like one specific type of theme, then you can really go nuts with them. So that's like if you want to make an overpowered character, just have them be like super good at one thing that they can just and make it like a general enough thing that you can really ham fist it into just about any scenario. Like if you just do it all strength, even if your character isn't necessarily good at intimidate, it doesn't matter because they can just, you know, if someone's not intimidated and you just like break their leg and it's no big deal, right? So you can always take that approach. Let's see here. Brainwashed and crazy. Okay, yeah, so that's a good description right there. Let's see here. Kobold can turn into anything. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. Yeah, you could have a changeling that looks as a kobold, but I'm not sure I'm familiar with what you're talking about there. Okay, so there's our enemies, and then I also will always do our rewards here for our combat. So for the X-Farts, that's 200 XP to split. 100 XP to split. Can collect whatever junk equipment they have. These are brainwashed things that aren't going to have really any money. And on a floor where he's got a bunch of things chained up, he's not going to leave a lot of stuff easy to grab. So that's pretty much the extent of the loot that I think the players are going to find in this one. So let's see here. I want to. So that's. Oh wait, hold up. Yeah, so that's room 2. That's room 2. And so that's up here. This room. Let's see here. I want to do. Here's what I want to do. Straw. No. Okay. Let's try hay. There we go. Hay. So he's got a room. That's got a whole lot of X-Farts around it. And I mean, he's kind of trying to care for them, but not really. So there's just a big pile of straw for them to, like, you know, do their business on or sleep in, whatever they want. You know, that's what you do for your pets. You just leave straw everywhere. Oh, that actually looks like a better pile of straw. Hold on. I actually changed my mind. I don't like how uniform these ones all look. Here, we'll actually undo. Boom. There we go. Okay. So he's got some straw there. There might be some hay lying around. Let's see. Gosh dang it. Yeah. So we'll do some piles of hay. Yeah. We'll do that. There we go. That looks a bit more appropriate, doesn't it? There we go. There you go. You gotta. Yeah, oops. Don't want that one. If you're gonna have. No. Grab it and delete it, you piece of junk. There we go. If you're gonna have X-Farts, first thing you gotta do is you gotta lay down a bed of hay for them. Exactly. Well, you gotta lay down a bed of hay for them so they have some place to sleep. Duh. And you need water for them, so I'm gonna put a trough in there. We'll do a water trough and a food trough. Right, so there's their water trough, and then there's a food trough for all of the things. And then let's just go ahead and do chains here. Oh, yep, you're right. They do need like a little chamber pot. That's a good call. That's a good call. I wanted to add some chains. How are there no chains or shackles or anything? That's ridiculous. That's just absurd. That's just absurd. Hold on, let me try doing like cuffs maybe. Shackles maybe? Huh. Okay, well, how about rope? There we go. We'll just put like a pile of rope. You know, some spare rope in case others of them need to be retied up at any point in time. And then you're right. We need a bucket. There we go. And there's and this is their poop bucket. No, they wouldn't keep the poop bucket next to the water. We'll put the poop bucket over here next to the bed. So that's their poop bucket. You can collect it all and they can dump it out the window. Like good pets. It's fucked up. I hate this Eladrin. I hate him so much. He's such a douche. Okay, so there's our room number 2. Alright, so now we need to do room number 3, which will be a medium combat. Marker 3. Medium combat. Boom. That's true. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Prince John. It wouldn't be a good villain if I didn't think he was a douche. Or it would be an indication that I myself am a villain if I thought he was great. Either way, it's probably for the best that I hate this asshole. What's your question, Kickstand? What do you got? Changelings, as far as I'm aware, their limitations are basically they can change into like another humanoid. So like they can change like basically as long as it doesn't change their like physical size or shape or anything like that, they can change it. So it's like they can on the surface make themselves look like, you know, they can make themselves look like a tabaxi or something like that because that's a humanoid of roughly the same size. But it's like they can't change their size and they can't really have like protrusions. It's almost like if you were to do like a minor illusion that is skin tight on yourself, is sort of my understanding of it. Yeah, I don't think there's much else that's described. Yes, yeah, whatever you're wearing stays the same. Yes, that is correct as well. Your clothes are unaffected by it. It's like your person that changes, not what's on you in your surrounding area or something like that. Good call. I love changelings. I think they're super cool characters. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff that you can do. And it probably is no surprise that I also think Mystique is a super interesting character from the X-Men lore. I don't know. I think it's a cool concept because I think there's a lot of like character growth that can happen there. That like with the concept of like yourself versus who you pretend to be at any given time, stuff like that. I think there's a lot of cool potential for that type of stuff. Is there something that allows you to change into something else? What do you mean? Like in terms of a spell that could disguise you, because there are spells that do stuff like that. They often have similar limitations that you can't really change your size or anything like that. And I mean, well, you're trying to do not homebrew stuff. I was gonna say, because you could certainly homebrew a polyjuice potion type of situation too if you wanted. I mean, I as a DM would allow that for sure. Let's see here. Okay, so Mark 3. So way to become a god. Kickstand, you are really pushing the limits of, especially if you're wanting to stay in lore. I don't think there is. The closest you could come is essentially making sure your character has the wish spell. But there are a lot of limitations to how often you could use that, which would not really exist for a god. So I don't think there really is. I don't think there really is. Unless you worked with your DM to have a story plot point at the end of the game where your character ascends. But I highly doubt that character would. I highly doubt that your character. Well, yeah. So lore or not, if you're talking about just like rules as written to play it, I highly doubt there's an adventure league that would let you play a god. I think that would probably be pushing the limits a little bit. Okay, room number 3. Hold on, focus. I got 0 in here. All right, so we're gonna come up with a medium combat here. What does it got for us? 1 1/4 and 1 CR1. I don't think we have any CR1s that we're planning on using for this one. No. But what we can do is we can take that little bastard off there. Oh, I don't want to have the max CR just like that. And we want to have 1 1/4 and then maybe 1/2. Hold on. Let's do the max as 1/2. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that's. Sorry, I didn't mean kickstand. I didn't mean my point to be that you're doing it for real game. But like you said, you were trying to come up with something. Rules as written, and I always consider Adventure League to be sort of the best barometer for if your thing is legal, rules as written. And I don't think that there would be a way to make your character a god, like a literal god, that would be legal as far as rules as written. I think that would be pushing it by most standards. Okay, so hold on. For the enemies here, it's going to be easier to write up the enemies. First, we're going to have 4. What did I end up doing there? 4 of the halves, or 2 of the halves and 4 of the quarters. Oh, well, that's easy. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that, Prince John. I think, like I say, as far as like an end game goal for like lore and story plot points, I think it'd be really cool if someone wanted a character that they wanted to have them, like the motivation was for them to be God, or if someone just played a character that was like good enough and holy enough that the end game was they ascended to godhood. But I think the nature of D&D and the nature of just fair play would say that if that happens, that character becomes likely invalid for for actual play, because it's like, because at least the way I view the gods within D&D lore is that they're basically magic users without limitations on spell slots. Like that's kind of what ends up making a god a god. You know, when you think of like Bahamut and all them, like they don't really have limitations on their stuff, and that's kind of the point of them is. So yeah, I think it'd be a cool character, but it would be an end game, like, yes, he achieved it, okay, rolling up a new character now type of situation. I would be very hesitant to allow a god in any of my games, just because, I mean, for no other reason, it would take away a lot of the fun from any other players if there was one guy who was just like the end all be all, you know, even if we were talking late game type of stuff. Just thinking about balancing a game that way. Let's see here. Strongest class, I think it depends on how you build the class. I think all of them have potential. I always find monks and or rogues to be pretty OP when you can stack, like for rogues, when you can stack like different sneak attack type stuff that they have there, since you can have like flanking, offer up sneak attack damage and all that kind of stuff. And monks, just because of the sheer number of times they can hit, they tend to be very, very powerful. Let's see here. 4x of the Kenkus. So we're going to have 4 Kenkus. Oh, no, stop being dumb. Copy paste mechanics here. And then we're going to copy these. What we're going to do is we're just going to... yeah. So we'll put the Kenku and the Barovians there, and we were going to do 4 of those and then 2 of the Barovians. Bada bing, bada boom. No, not 22 of them. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. You guys thought you would be prepared for this at level 3, but it turns out you're not. God, that'd be a dick move of me. Just throw 22 of anything in a single combat. Can you imagine? Like, even just 22, that's entering on the would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses. I would take probably the 1 horse-sized duck, because while it's a tougher fight, you just take out one of them and it's done. If you've got 100 of anything swarming you, that shit gets difficult to manage. Let's see here. Plus, if we're talking about like a big animal, right? Like, as long as your maneuverability is up there, especially if you have a weapon, like if you gotta have a sword against anything, I don't care what it is, if it's horse-sized. If I have a sword and I've got a bit of a reach advantage because of that, boom, I would do that. Can a necromancer make an infinite army? If they had infinite time and infinite spell slots, sure. I think if you're gonna, I think with any class, if you're gonna throw around the word infinity, we're talking about god status at that point in time. So, I think you'd be pushing it to assume infinity. They could have a lot of undeads and have a pretty powerful army, but I think infinite's pushing it. Okay, so description here. So Kenku and Barovians. Hold on, where is this room? This is room number 3. How high up is this? Where's my movement here? So room number 3 up here. We got the Barovians and the Kenkus here. Let me see here. So what's going to be the nature? So the hard part about this is what stops any of these creatures from storming down once they start hearing commotion? Which is why I'm kind of making them all be chained up by this guy. So I think no matter what, for pretty much any of the combats, they're all going to be chained up, including even the boss. Because really it's the Eladrin. Ouch, dang, I gotta stop touching my nose, man. It's because the boss, in terms of just who owns this area, is the Eladrin, but he's not here for this fight. And everything else in here, as we kind of discussed last time, everything else that's here is here because he doesn't want them. He's just like, well, these guys are all messed up, and I'm just gonna get rid of them. You know, I don't want to get rid of them, but I really don't need them until I need a fight. Otherwise, they're kind of useless to me. And so he's just kind of keeping them captive. So I think pretty much the description for all of these is going to be kind of the same. Where it's like there's a bunch of chained up enemies, and once your head kind of pokes up through that staircase there, like the fight's on. Which I think is fine. I think that's totally fine. It's a little bland as far as descriptions go and flavor text, but let's see here. A collection of pitiful, brainwashed creatures. I don't know. I have no idea, Kickstand, what the max limit with any of those things would be. I haven't actually ever made a necromancer and taken them to the max level, so I don't know. It's a good question. Be interesting to find out. Collection of pitiful, brainwashed creatures sit around, chained up just like everything else in this tower. As your head pokes up from the stairwell, they attack immediately, knowing that only, well, I'm not going to add what they know. Just, they know it, they attack immediately. That's all it needs to be. Up to 94 skeletons. There you go. There you go. That's a sizable army. I wouldn't go up against 94 skeletons. That is definitely a good way to make things kind of OP. Because 94 of anything, I mean, just having to thin that kind of herd would be quite the challenge. That's for sure. That's for sure. So, okay. They attack immediately. That's really all the description that this one needs. So, oops, dang it. So, and then rewards. So the XP to split here. So 4 times 50, that's 200. Plus another 200, so that's 400. 400 XP to split. Man, I gotta fiddle around with my P key here. P key. I gotta fiddle around with that a little bit. Damn it. XP. I've been getting extra P's there. I think there might be something. I think the switch might be sticking a bit. 400 XP to split. Let's see here. 400 XP to split. Any other reward? See, again, like one of the things that's going to bum out the players is climbing up there. There's not going to be a whole lot of loot. Whatever gear they have on is fair game. Boom, there we go. Do that. Kickstand, I don't know. You'd be surprised what 94 attacks can do. You'd be surprised what you can do with 94 attacks. If you have 94 skeletons, all of them with a bow and arrow, that's a lot of chipping away. I mean, think about that. Think about that. That's potentially however many whatevers of damage. It's potentially up to that much damage per round. Admittedly, not all of them will hit, but I don't know. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. That's why I always go for numbers over brawn when it comes to creating sort of boss battles. That's why I make sure the bosses themselves aren't so powerful that it would get rid of the ability for me to use minions and stuff, because minions tend to be much more problematic for players than a boss that's just a little bit stronger with a little bit more HP. I don't know, man. I don't know. You're the one who's doing this. You figure out what kind of skeletons. I don't know. I'm not making a necromancer here. I'm trying to make a tower that has no skeletons in it. Damn it. No, I copied. Damn it. I totally copied. That's why I had it frickin' highlighted. You piece of poop. Copy this. Copy it. You better have copied it. There we go. Okay, marker 4. Marker number 4. Let's see here. I'm gonna make that difficult combat. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, exactly, Prince John. Action economy. Like, you know, like I say, having more enemies tends to be a tougher fight than one big enemy. So 94 skeletons is that's a lot. That's a lot of attacks. That's a lot of even just basic attacks. That adds up. Okay, so difficult combat here. Let's go ahead and random difficult just to get ourselves a baseline. No, I don't understand why it's not using the filter. I don't want any CR1s. Try again. Oh, god damn it. CR1 quarter. Okay, it's just like a big pile, a big giant pile. I like how I clicked the random hard button, and as you can see, it only gives me a medium one. Okay, so I do love this just because of the quick math that it helps us do for this, but its random generators are shit. Absolute garbo. Let's see, I don't like to do more than 10 enemies, if you will. So let's add ourselves a half. Oops. Let's add ourselves a quarter and a half and do another combo of those types of things. Let's see here. Yeah, exactly, Prince John. Yeah. Kickstand, you can... I'm telling you, man, we're telling you right now, 94 skeletons is a force to be reckoned with. You know, you don't gotta spend a whole shit ton of time doing research on that. That I can tell you that right here, right now. There you go, hard. How many can we get here and have it still be hard? That's what she asked. Let's see here. Yeah, exactly, Prince John. 94 attacks, especially if you can somehow, knock down, Tiamat so that she's prone. You give them all like advantage. That would take care of it. That would take care of it right there. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so we've got our quarter and half. So it's just going to be 7 and 3 rather than 4 and 2. Easy enough. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cheat and make it real easy on myself. Copy that. And then paste it. And then I'll just change these numbers up. Come on. Gosh dang it. Sometimes... Okay, I generally really love OneNote, but sometimes it starts glitching out like this, where like the cursor is just not behaving like I need it to do. Which I'm thinking means, since it autosaves, we're just going to quit out of OneNote and reopen it. Fuck that. There we go. Would you behave, you piece of shit? Okay. Fine, we'll just use the arrow keys. Damn you. Damn it all to hell. There we go. Okay, now we're behaving. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm getting punchy here. Alright, this is like the same exact description. I'm just going to do the same exact description. I don't even care. We're just going to do it. I'm going to do it. See if my players notice. It's kind of an amusing concept. See how closely they're paying attention. Like literally read the exact same thing. See if they get a sense of deja vu. I need to do... I still need to add objects to this stuff, and I'm thinking even for the other guys, yeah, we're just all of them. It's just gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be the same thing in all of these things. They get a poop bucket. They've got a bucket for pooping. They've got a pile of hay for sleeping, and they've got a water trough and a food trough for eating. Yeah, even the bosses. Like, none of them are in charge here. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. These guys like to eat and drink by the window. I don't know. Fuck it. This is the stupidest thing. This is such a stupid, sad, evil dungeon that I'm creating here. It's just pitiful. I feel bad. Alright. Food trough. I don't know. There. Yeah, there's by the window. By the walls. Sweat drips down, and, well, you get the picture. Food. Oh shit, I forgot to do this one. I don't know what the food is. We'll say the boss is nasty and he keeps his food next to his poop. That's it. Uh-oh. Hopefully things aren't about to get loud. My AC just clicked on, and that, actually, you know what? We're going to turn that shit off because the thermostat is right here and my AC unit is as loud as you can imagine. Yeah, turn off. Keep that off. We'll cool down later. Let's see here. And then we need to go back to the water trough and give these guys water. Boom. There we go. Okay. There we go. No, there's no one that needs to take out the poop buckets because they have free reign of the floor. So they've got a window. They've got a window. You just, you know, just out the window. That's all. You know, they can take care of themselves. Oh my god. The Eladrin is not a kind master. He is cruel and unconcerned with your wants and needs. Alright, and we need the hay piles again. Hold on, let's try doing the scatter tool. Let's see if that makes it any faster to, like... Nope, the scatter tool is actually largely useless, so we'll just add some piles of hay in the corners. There we go, hay. Hay. Oops, oh shit. Can't have this one. Let me get rid of that. That's why no one wants to go close. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Everyone's like, it is way too stinky there. I do not want anything to do with that party. I don't know what's going on up there, and I don't want to know what's going on up there. God damn it, I did it again. The hay is clipping through the walls. Alright, there we go. Boom. Perfect. There we go. Alright, so those ones are all figured out, so now we just gotta do the descriptions of the enemies and everything that exists. Let's see here. Let's see, rewards. Boom, boom. Alright, 7 times 5 is 350. Plus another 300, so that's 650 XP to split. 50 XP to split. And whatever gear they have on is fair game again. Copy that. Paste that. That's it. Oh, come on. Copy that. Paste that. There. Alright. Just another one. I don't know. I'm getting lazy here, but a lot of it too is I'm looking at the time, and I wanted to have this dungeon finished by the time I have to end, and I've only got about a half hour left, so I gotta kind of move. Because we spent too much time discussing necromancers and all that shit. This kickstand hijacked the chat. Alright, let's see. Oh wait, this is marker 5, deadly. 5, deadly combat. Alright. Enemies. Boom, there we go. Okay, now we gotta toy around and find a deadly combat. Yeah, so I want to reduce these, and we really want to lay it on thick with the 1/2s, I think. Yeah, we'll just make it a whole bunch of the Barovian witches. Fuck it. Fuck it, right? Guys, these are gonna be such cramped battles too. Such cramped battles with 8 enemies in these tiny little rooms up here. God, can you imagine? Fuck that. Yeah, no, the apes are definitely beastly. But I mean, I guess I'm kind of content with that, because think about getting in a fist fight with a gorilla. Like, that shit would suck. Like a silverback, can you imagine? Like, I think my nose hurts now after getting popped in the nose yesterday at kickboxing. Imagine if a gorilla had done it. I wouldn't have a head anymore. Like, it would just be gone. Like, I'd be dead. I'd be dead. There's nothing else to it. I'd be a dead boy, and we wouldn't be sitting here right now having this conversation. Oh, man. Let's see here. I know. Hi, kitty. Are you gonna come? Are you gonna come guest star? There, your tail is anyway. All right, just passing through. Choosing the least convenient, the most rude. Don't you sit on my keyboard. That's gross. You and your butt. Oh yeah, I remember that, Prince John. The gorilla like punches and spiderwebs the glass. Jesus, that shit would terrify me. I would have soiled, like, if I were in that kid's position as a grown ass man. If that happened, I would have shat myself immediately. Like, I would have just let loose. Like, I would have had no control over it. No control. God, that shit scares me. That, or like the video that exists of the one guy, like, he's like a park ranger somewhere, right? And like the gorilla's just kind of walking by him, and he just grabs him and drags him like 10 feet. And like the guy looks up and he has this look like, I just saw my life flash. Like, that shit, I would probably have died anyway from a heart attack. Like, can you imagine that shit? God damn, no thank you. No thank you. Like, I actually, as a high schooler, was able to kind of work at a zoo as an assistant to a lot of the zookeepers, so I got to get pretty up close and personal with a lot of animals. But gorillas, like, they fuck up my fear factor emotions like nobody's business. God damn. Alright, let's see here. Enemies, what did we have? It was going to be 8 of the Barovian Witch. Let's see here. Copy that. No, give me my bullet. Give me my bullet. I want my bullets there. Not 3, though. 8. 8 Barovian Witches. Let's see here. And that's all we need for that. Wow, kickstand, thank you. I appreciate that. How polite. That's fine. I totally understand. Go. I mean, you're pretty focused on making your necromancer. I say you go do that, man. Faux show. Do your thing. Let's see here. Rewards. Let's see. How much XP to split? 800 XP to split. 100 XP to split. And then whatever gear they have on. Boom, that's all that we need to do for rewards. Copy that. Down. Paste that, and so then marker 6. This is our boss combat. 6. Boom. Boss combat. Alright. Tab that. Oops, no, wait, not tab that. Bullet that. Okay, so this one will warrant its own sort of description. It's here. Upon entering, that's actually, we'll say upon reaching this floor, you hear let's see. Okay, so I gotta think about, like, this was the pirate who's gonna like totally be trying to like seduce them all and stuff. Like, she's so like super suave, very good with words type of pirate. The swashbuckler that's like smooth talking, trying to like earn favors that way and stuff like that. So it's like, let's see, you hear a voice call out, inviting them in for, oh, that's a good idea. voice call out and invite them in for a drink. Boom. I like that. I appreciate that idea. That's a good one. Players. Let's see. Okay, wait. Hold up. You see a woman sitting there in the company of a few other deformed humanoids. These individuals seem much more calm and interested in a little conversation than the rest you've encountered so far. Boom. Okay, there we go. That's a good idea. I like that. Let's see here. Now we're just gonna add a little bit. Let's see here. Players can certainly attack if they want, but if they decide to speak, they can dance the can. They can safely sit and discuss things with right? That was her name, Yeah, Veleluk with At this point, they will be unlikely to completely fix the brainwashing, but they can try, and they can also leave her unconscious for I don't even want to go through the trouble of trying to figure out where I went wrong there, which was like the computer analyst. That's what spell check's for, right? Let's see. It can also leave her unconscious for later deprogramming. Wow, that's a lot of P's in there. Deprogramming. Yeah, I gotta probably oil up my my P switch there. I'm such a child. P switch. For later deprogramming. So players can have that option if they so choose. That is up to them. Let's see. Oh, I am going to also add the deformed, quote, we're going to say Barovian witches are... Whoops. Hi, Kitty. Did you want to come up? Is that what you're sitting here for? Do you want to come up, honey? You're welcome to. Yeah, you can come on up. You can do it. There you go. I know, good kitty. I know, you just want some snuggles. I know. You like to be on my lap rather than next to me in your bed now that it's getting hot out. My lap is a bit more open and airy than your closed-walled bed there, so I understand. Let's see. The deformed Barovian witches are beyond saving, as the damage done to them physically in the brainwashing process has also damaged their minds beyond repair. Boom. We'll say that because you know, we talked about them as not being like deformed because of the different magical attempts and experiments and stuff like that. So we'll make them, that'll add some complexity to it. They're beyond saving, or at least beyond deprogramming. Yeah, enemies. Boom. Let's see here. So we need to add our, what was her CR? The swashbuckling, the swashbuckling, what's it? Where it be? Was it 3? Swashbuckling. I didn't even write it down because I'm a dumbass. Okay, I'll check your word for it and we'll put 3. That makes sense. I'm pretty sure it would, because this is a level 3, and for the first few levels, the challenge rating kind of matches the player level a little bit for a single enemy within it. Oh, wow. Sorry, hold on. Carefully, carefully. Okay. I think a bit of nose scab might have broken loose a little there. How's that for disgusting discussion topic right there? Yeah. Woo, woo. I mean, it's nice. I can breathe. I can breathe real well. Yeah. The +6 to persuasion. That was where the idea kind of came from. So it's like they can do that, but it's gonna be risky business for them to do that. Let's see. So we'll do that. It's not an Ankylosaurus, but it's the same challenge rating, and I like them to be set to deadly for a boss battle as well. So yeah, 3 of the Barovian witches and one swashbuckler. So 3 times the Barovian witches, and then one of, let's see here, hold up, where's the XP? 700, 700, god damn, I said to say god damn. Let's do, oops, no, I didn't mean to do that. I wanted it over there. There we go. CR3 XP 700. 700. That's a lot of experience. Tell you what. All right. Copy that. Enter that. Boom. There. All right. And then rewards. That's going to be 1,000 XP to split. 1,000 XP to split. We could do that. And then, okay, so I think the swashbuckler, because of how suave and creative and stuff she is, we're going to say swashbuckler has a pouch with, we'll say, see, these are level 3 players. We're going to go ahead and say that this has got about 100, just in her little thing, 100 P worth of coins, jewels, and jewelry that she has stolen from around the tower. Because she's pretty crafty, she's pretty sneaky, she's probably convinced, because she's kind of normal, we'll say she's not chained up, but then, hold on, the deformed Barovian witches that are chained up. And since we're making her a bit more crafty in her use of words and everything, we can make it so that she hasn't been chained up in this process. I think that would make a lot of sense. Like, she's trusted to be not chained up. So she's kind of gone around and she's managed to pilfer small odds and ends from around the tower. So yeah. Alright, I like it. Alright, so now, room number 7. The puzzle / challenge room or whatever. Been thinking about it, and I really like your idea of it being a wild magic type of situation. What we can do is we can say that this floor, so again, we can kind of go back to our history of how the unhinging has really turned this place into like a lightning rod of magic. So I'm thinking there's like the epicenter of that on floor 7, meaning that floor 7 is largely avoided when possible, and instead there exists like just a floating like orb of light that if anyone gets too close to it and tries to fuck with it, some sort of wild magic thing happens, and they just have to deal with whatever results happen. Hopefully it won't kill them, but you never know. I don't know. I mean, like, what good is a game if there's no actual risk, right? Let's see here. So yeah, I think that'll be good. So on this floor is I know, hi kitty. I know, you're very sweet, but this isn't a great time to demand attention because I'm trying to finish something, okay? An orb of annihilation. Oh god. On this floor is nothing but a floating orb of light. It offers no sound. It does not move. It simply floats and gives off a silver aura. Let's see here. It's all the description we really need, I think. And what we're going to do with this one is this orb invokes wild magic. If players, we'll just say if players enter within 5 feet of the orb, so there's a chance they can't just ignore it, they can't just walk by, and that's like how this thing can exist in the center of this tower without it being a problem. You just don't approach it. So but if players enter within 5 feet of the orb, have that player make them choose their own fate. Have that player roll on the wild magic table. Whatever spell is rolled is cast upon that player / the party in the room. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright. I like it. I like it a lot. I really like that. I mean, there's got to be some sense of risk involved. You don't want games to automatically always be too easy for players. Yeah. I dig it. I'm feeling it. I don't know if we really even need to add a whole lot else. Let's see here. Oh, absolutely. Like, this is the type of trap that always cracks me up, because this is the type of trap that actually rewards the paranoia that most groups end up having. But oftentimes, like, when there's something that tantalizing right there, they just can't leave it alone. They just can't. So I think it's perfect. You know, curiosity killed the cat and all that jazz. If only they had a tabaxi with them. Boom. Yeah, no, I like it. I really like that. I like that idea. I appreciate that idea. And I can't claim that idea. That was really good. Any chance to use wild magic, right? God, it's just such a fun table. I love when even I don't know what's going to happen. Alright, so room with a twist. So I'm immediately thinking room with a twist. This room has a couple kidnapped people that have not been brainwashed yet. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. What it should be, right? So that's what we're going to do with it. That is what we're going to do with it. So, yeah, oops, hold up. It's going to get rid of my bullet point if I'm not careful. Boom, there we go. As you reach this floor, at first it seems to be yet another floor with brainwashed captives ready to attack. But quickly you realize that the people approaching you are not readying weapons or spells, but are woo, see you, kitty. But are begging you for help. These are captured travelers who are waiting. Who are, let's see, who are, how do I want to say this? There's captured travelers who are scheduled for brainwashing. Brainwashing, there it is. And desperate for an escape. Boom. There we go. How about that, players? How about that? How you going to handle this one? Let's see here. The shackles, the shackles holding these people down are locked. They can be lock picked. We'll make that a DC 10 because this is still a pretty low level encounter. Or broken, and we'll say AC of 12. So you gotta hit them fairly solid. It's not that hard to get that hit in there, but you gotta hit it solid. To free the people. They are willing to escape on their own and thank the players profusely. Boom. That's it. So they're willing to escape on their own, but I'm thinking it'd be kind of a good thing too if they do that. Let's see. I'm going to add a little note like here. So if players let them go alone, they will pass by one or two of their bodies on the road. Looks like some protection would have been a good idea. I love messing with my players. I love absolutely fucking with them. Because the other thing about it is, knowing most of my players, they probably won't give a shit. They'll be like, hey, dog eat dog world, you know, you gotta keep up and get out. Alright, okay, so room number 9. So this is our reward room. This is where we are going to actually sort of give them what they're here for, which is more clues about the Eladrin. So this floor appears to have been the study. Books and maps lay strewn all around. Let's see here. As do piles and pouches of spell and potion components. Boom, there we go. So then I do want to add sort of just a few details about some of the things. Actually, no, we'll put that in rewards here, because that's really all it is. Rewards. So let me see here. Let me go to my consistency guidelines here, just to figure out exactly what kind of monies I was planning on giving them. Writing consistency guidelines here. Where is it? That's the thing. So this is going to be 200 to 600 gold is what I was thinking for something like this. Again, I'm not big on offering too much money. I prefer to give them items to use, because shopping is boring, and also it's more fun when they kind of craft and create their own stuff. Hey, how's it going, Bard Creative? It's going pretty well. You're coming in towards the end here. I'm trying to finish up this dungeon before skedaddling here. But I'm gonna make sure and finish up this dungeon, so we got a little bit more going. We're finishing up our programming tower. Hopefully your day is going well as well. Because as you say, happy Friday. Hard to be upset when you got a weekend right in front of you. Am I right? So let's see here. So the rewards for here. Oh boy. Okay, so if we're gonna give, I think what I'm gonna do here is, rather than trying to get too detailed, um, about specific potion ingredients and stuff. As much as I'd like to, I don't want to spend an hour right now figuring that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that up to if I want to do that later this weekend or something. For right now, I'm going to put 2 potion making kits worth of supplies. We'll do that, and they can find spell components. And what we'll say here is enough supplies if any player wants to replenish spell casting components, do that. And we'll say, I'm going to go ahead and say 500 gold worth of gems and small jewelry. Right, so if they want to use like gems, or if they need to use gems for spellcasting or anything like that, or if they just want to do it. None of it is actually magical, but that gives them a lot of baseline stuff to tinker with and play with if they want to use it for crafting in any way, shape, or form. So we've got that, and then also clues about the Eladrin and his goals. So first things first, we'll say many. Do I ever dabble with random treasure tables? I do. Sorry, Irzigen. I do, but intermittently. And actually, probably what I will do is, like, if I'm saying, if at a later time I want to go through, usually what I'll do is I'll use a random treasure table to put the stuff in here, so that way I'm not taking too much time during a session trying to come up with that kind of stuff. But I will use random treasure tables for a lot of these types of things because I do like giving detailed lists of things. Because that's just me. I love the details. I love the minutia and stuff like that. I'm just kind of cheating and taking quick, easy ways out right now because I gotta get going soon. I'm pushing my time limits here. So that's really what's happening here. But yes, I do dabble with them. They are very helpful tools, but I don't do them live during a session. Is what I prefer not to do during a gaming session. Just because I don't like sitting there taking too much time when players are anxious to keep going on their adventure and stuff. So let's see here. So we're going to say many journal entries that offer clues about his origin, his mission, etc. Nothing too concrete about the most recent attempt. Let's see here. Clues about his origin, his mission. I'm going to also add his experiments. And probably what I'll do, how I'll handle that is players are like, oh, can I find anything in the journal about this? And I'll have them roll an investigation check to see if they find any clues about this, that, or the other thing that they're looking for. I also want to say, hold on. What I need to do is I need to figure out what was the next step here. Yeah, here we go. At the tower, there will be a dusty journal that was left behind. We'll mention how it was hard for him to be in the tower, which is his first refuge. After entering the material plane, knowing that the portal that brought him into the material plane was only a few miles east made him uneasy. Players make it to the tower. Right. Okay. So we want to add a journal entry about that as well. So that gives them their next story beat, right? Because I want to keep hooking them in. Let's see here. One journal entry describes the Fey tear that exists not far from the tower. It mentions that it is where he came through, but that but also describes his frustrations that he cannot seem to return through it. So that's going to be a good place for players to find more clues, because I imagine once I get to that one, we'll start describing another sort of little base that he has sort of built up to use at any you know, for his experiments and stuff like that, so they can gain more information about who this Eladrin is going through that way. So it's kind of just like a process of trying to learn more about this boss while also trying to chase him down. You know, just leaving that little breadcrumb trail, that those little crumbs for them to keep going through and finding out. So yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so now for the safe room here. What I always just do for the safe room is just add some sort of detail or some sort of something that makes it clear that this room can like be barricaded. And I'm thinking this one will be, here's how I'm going to do this one. This room appears to have been retrofitted as a safe room. We'll say trap doors, barring entry from both the floor above and the floor below, in place and latchable, and we'll say and can be latched from this floor. Perhaps the Eladrin knew that his experiments with bending and breaking of minds could lead to some very vengeful mutants. Let's say question mark. Perhaps he realized that. And that's all it will be. And we'll just say this room can be barricaded for a long rest without risk of wandering monster encounters. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, now we need to lay out everything in these rooms. So 7, 8, 9, and 10. We have to just quickly map them out here. So 7, this is our magical orb room. So all I want to do with this is how I'm going to do this is let's do, let me try just doing like light. What does that do for us? Here we go. That looks kind of a bowl lamp. Okay, that'll work. I want to put that right there. Oh wait, no. It needs to be further away because players have to be able to have the chance to not do it. So do that. Hold on, can I change the color of this bad boy? Let's see, I don't know if it'll let me change the color of the fire though, will it? I doubt it. Come on, yep, light. If we change the color to like silver here. Yeah, it has no effect. It's just going to change the surrounding thing. Okay, so we'll just have the orb of light be down there. That's all we need. Just the orb of light that sits there. And if players walk up to it, then BAM! Wild magic. Got him. Alright, 7. So now this is the twist room. So this is where there were prisoners. So we're going to, again, set up just another one of these rooms with like the hay for the beds. So it's like basically treats them like horses. Hey, oops, nope, sorry. I need this to be, oops, what am I doing here? Just take me to my object tool. Ah, man, I don't know what I did there. We're just gonna try and ignore it here. Hey. I hotkeyed and just like brought in my stuff there. Just, yeah, that's clearly what happened, but I don't feel like trying to figure out how the hell I did that. Alright, so there oops. Gotta get rid of that one. Let's get rid of that. So there's that. I want a trough. Tough, well, okay. That's fine. trough for these guys. We've got the water and the food trough, and then of course, the poo bucket. So mean. And there's a poop bucket. There you go. So there's their poop bucket. So that's where all of the poor prisoners are. The safe room is just going to be largely empty because it's all about being barricaded. There's not a whole lot else going on in there. And now for the top floor, we can make this one a little more unique. We can do a table. And I love that it has a couple pre-made tables with maps on them. And so I'm going to do it just like that. So there's got a little map corner going on there. Let's do a table. Just a couple tables there. Let's see. Oh, and maybe one more table right there. Do they have shelves here? Shelf? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Merchant shelf. That'll work. So we can put like a shelf there. Maybe another shelf there. Get a different type of shelf just so that it's not too obvious that I'm kind of just spraying down random stuff. We'll put maybe a shelf right there. Is that a corner shelf? Ooh, a corner bookshelf. Ooh, I don't want to put that in there somewhere. Nah, that's just a little too full. There we go. We'll do that. Bookshelves there, and then now I want to go to, hold on, I want to do the administration pile here so we can add like books kind of scattered around, you know, like a book on a table, a couple notes on the table there, right? So like a page of notes right there, like that. Oh yeah, certainly an inkwell. Oh, come on, put that inkwell down. Oh, I did put it down. It's just not visible in that spot. I gotcha. Oh, we'll put it right there then. That's fine. Couple books. Oh wait, these are like scrolls. Couple scrolls there. Wonder if they have like potion. I'll try doing potion. Nope, but they do have onions. That's the same as a potion. The search thing is weird in this program, but okay, hold on. Let's go back to administration. I have one more idea just to make this. Oh yeah, we can put like a candle there. Just got a little candle sitting on the desk there. And now I'm thinking we'll also just sort of have on the floor scattered around a couple random things, like a book that fell down, maybe a book over here that's open to a page. Yeah, we'll put it in front of the bookcase there. There we go. Scattered, cluttered, study. That'll work. And that does it. That gets us our dungeon. There it is. Let's save that bad boy. Let's not forget to save that. That'd be tragic. That'd be super tragic. I'd be so sad. I'd be so sad. But hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's awesome. I'm pleased. I'm pleased with this. I think this will be a good dungeon. I think there's some fun stuff in this dungeon. Yeah, exactly, Prince John. Ta-da, indeed. Ta-da. Just with finality. Ta-da. As is my favorite hand motion. Oh, golly. Yeah, no, that was good. That was good. We got some good crowdsourced ideas going on in there, too. I always appreciate the help. You guys there are a lot of very creative people out there, and I appreciate that some of you guys like to stop in and help me come up with cool stuff for my players. I know they appreciate that. But yeah, I think that's what I got for today. I've got other stuff I gotta be on my way to take care of. But I thank you guys for spending a bit of your Friday afternoon with me, cruising into the weekend in high spirits because of this. I'll tell you what, higher spirits than last night when I was gushing bloody goobers out my nose because I got punched because I have terrible defense at kickboxing. So, yeah, it's a good day. I appreciate that. Cool. Yeah, Bart, it was. I exaggerate. It wasn't terrible. I had it stemmed within a minute or two. It really wasn't that bad. But I definitely got tagged. It was a good one. My nose is sore. The hat is helpful at hiding the bruise that exists right here on the side of my nose and on my forehead where the rest of the boxing glove hit me. It was a good day. Um, but yeah, that's what I got for today. As far as upcoming streams, possibly streaming tomorrow. Maybe streaming a little bit more Mass Effect tomorrow. We'll see. We have our D&D game scheduled for tomorrow. So, and me and this group, we tend to oftentimes just hang out for a while afterwards. So if we're hanging out afterwards, I may not have time. If we decide to call it a day early, then I might be back early in the evening and want to do some streaming. I don't know. So it may happen. If you're interested in watching, you can certainly keep an eye out for the notifications for if I go online. If not, I am totally fine regardless of if I'm streaming or not, whether or not you show up, because it's freaking Saturday. We all got shit to do. Especially now, depending on where you live, that the world can kind of start reopening a little bit. So there might be, more and more stuff to do, which is just in time for summer. Which I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited about the fact that we have a summer coming up that might be able to actually go out and do stuff. So, at any rate, that's what's coming up the rest of this week. Otherwise, next week, as far as I know, my schedule is not going to prevent me from being able to do any streaming next week. So I should be back all 5 days next week, like I like to try and do. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, doing some more writing. Tuesday, Thursday, playing some more Mass Effect, which, goddamn, I'm having fun playing that game. I love that game. So yeah, feel free to check me out for any or none of that stuff. As always, the VODs are up if you are so interested. How many people we got watching right now? My viewer count is showing 4 people. It's not a whole lot, but that's enough. Do we want to find someone to raid? Make someone else's Friday? I don't know who's on right now. If anyone's got someone who's on that they want us to go, we can do that. Yeah, let's do that. Hold on, let me bring us up to chatting here, so now you guys can really get a nice close look at my face that was fortunately not made any uglier by my nose shot, because it did not break my nose. So that's, we got that going for me. Let's see here. Okay, let me pull up Twitch here and let's see what we can find. Let's see who we can find. If you guys have any suggestions, I am open to suggestions. I have no fucking clue who streams at this time of day, because I'm busy streaming at this time of day, so I have no idea. I'm not sitting here watching. I'm doing it myself. So, but I will pull up Twitch here and I will take a peek here. Let's see here. Let's see. Let me see if I can find some more D&D stuff for you guys. Dungeons. Let's try and find Dungeons and Dragons here if we can find in our category Dungeons and Dragons, that is, and see who's on. See if anyone's doing anything nifty or fun. Where the frick is it? Gosh dang it! Okay, the search function is being a brat to me right now. Dungeons and Dragons. There we go. I don't want channels. I just want category. There we go. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, it's hard to find content creation stuff, that's for sure. It's always games. I definitely hear you there. Try and see if there is. Let's see here. Man, John, I feel you. I am pretty knowledgeable about how to work with and use computers, but also I'm very clumsy about it. That knowledge does not extend to figuring out how to do raids either. I suck shit at figuring that out. So yeah, there really is not much in the way of content creation going on. So I don't know, I'll leave it up to you guys. Is there anyone else? Just try and find a small streamer. You know, that or we can high five indeed. I love high fives, man. I'm totally that guy that still high fives. The other option too is I can just send you guys on your way. I mean, you know, it's always good to raid when you can, but we don't have to. Like, if you guys have other stuff, like if y'all want to go your separate ways and watch stuff, I don't care. I ain't your boss. You guys do whatever you want. Like, fuck it, man. Fuck what I say. But I don't know. What do you guys want to watch? Do you guys have any people? Like I say, it's just fun to go pass it on to other channels that don't have tons of viewers. I know I always appreciate it, so it's fun to give it to other people. But like I say, I have no idea who streams right now. And I have no idea what you guys want to watch. No idea whatsoever. Let's hear. Kevin Cheeky, who's that? What are they up to? Da, 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 da. Working on something for a D&D video. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Man, you're gonna make me read through all the names here. Yeah, he's working on something. Looks like. Oh yeah. I see what you're talking about. It looks like he's working on some artwork. I don't know. Should we do it? Should we just go work on go raid him and see what he's up to? Do it. All right, let's do it. We'll get a raid going for him, and we'll just we'll go see what he's up to. Go pay him a visit for a couple minutes. Give him a shot, right? Just going in and raiding doesn't make us you know, it's not like we're stuck sitting watching for like 3 hours or something like that. So let's give him a chance. Let's see what he's up to. Cap'n Cheeky. There we go. Yeah, no idea what he's up to. Okay. Alright, we're gonna do it. We're gonna start that raid. Get ready, everybody. We'll go see what is happening. Alright, here we go. We're gonna go raid in wait, hold up, I gotta pull up the channel so that way I can be ready to do it, ready to participate in it as well. So, so yeah, I'm pulling, okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, ready, and we're gonna go right about now.